Hello children and grown-ups. Today we're not having a story, I'm afraid, because we're learning about non-fiction books, information books, books about true things. So this isn't going to start once upon a time or one day, because it's not a story. It's telling us true things, information, facts. And let's see, it says the Baiga, big, Bauka, book of bird, birds. The Big Book of Birds by Yuval Sommer. Guess what that is? A train. I'm going to read the blurb on the back. Why is a flamingo pink? Can a parrot talk? Is a bald eagle really bald? You'll find the answers to these questions and many more inside. So, let's have a look. The Big Book of Birds. Now, in an information book, quite often you find at the beginning of the book a contents page. Now this has a contents page. Doesn't say contents, it says who's inside, but it has some words and it has some numbers next to each word. Can you tell your grown-up why it has numbers next to the words? They're telling you where to find information. So it says bird family tree and it says page 6. I'm going to turn to page 6. This is page 6 and it says at the top in the heading, bird family tree. Let's have a little look at the contents page again. Now on page, what's that number there? Can you see? It says 2 and a 0, 20. On page 20 it says king fishers. Kingfishers. And if I turn to page 20, at the top it says kingfishers, that's the heading. So that's where you find information from the contents page. You can also go to the back and find an index. Now in the contents page, if you look at the numbers, they start from the smallest number up to the biggest number because it goes in the page order. 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, like that. But in the index, it goes by the alphabet. So if you can remember your ABC song, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, you remember that one? It goes A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, there's no J in this book, K, M, N, O, no L, P, no Q, R, S, T, V, W, Z. So not all the letters are there. But if I wanted to find out about flamingo, what sound does flamingo start with? I'd look in the F's and I'd work my way down to flamingo, and it says on page 7 and 16 to 17. Let's have a look. Page 7. Flamingo, underwater birds, and 16 to 17. Look. 2 pages all on flamingos. Now, what shall we find out about today? Let's have a look at the contents page. Now, it says bird family tree, page 6. Shall we have a look? So I'm going to turn to page 6. And the heading is bird family tree. And it says, how many types of bird are there? It's asking a question. There's a question mark there. And it's going to give us an answer. It's going to give us a fact, something that's true. It says there are nearly 10,000 species, that's kinds of bird, and they belong to all sorts of families. Their family group depends on how they look and how they live in their environment. Birds of prey include hawks, eagles, vultures and falcons, and they have great eyesight. And they have sharp talons for catching small prey. So these are all birds of prey here, and they catch animals to eat. That's called prey. Now, O and the W, what sound is that? Ow. Owls. Owls. Can you see any owls? Here we are. There's an owl. Owls usually hunt at night and have excellent hearing. So can you tell your grown-up, when do owls hunt? Is it in the daytime or nighttime? I'm going to read it again. Owls usually hunt at night. So it's a nighttime, and they have excellent hearing. Perching birds include sparrows, robins, remember that, thrushes, swallows, crows, finches, magpies and white wagtails. They have feet that can grip a perch tightly so that they can sleep on a branch without falling off. So a perch is something that they stand on and they can sleep on. Look at all of those. There's a robin. Water birds include ducks, geese, swans, herons, avocets and flamingos. They are good at flying and they nest on the ground, and they have webbed feet. Seabirds include puffins, albatrosses, pelicans and cormorants, and they have waterproof feathers. That means they don't soak up the water and get all nasty and wet, and webbed feet, and are good at swimming, flying and fishing. And then the last group of birds is called flightless birds. Include ostriches, emus, penguins, I can't pronounce that one, takahui and kiwis, and they have given up flying because they are too heavy or don't need to fly to survive. So ostrich, too heavy, wouldn't be able to get up into the air. Now, it was talking about nests here. Do you want to find out about nests? Let's go to the index page at the back, and nest. What sound does nest start with? Okay. That's letter N. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. All the letters came to T. H, I, J, K, L, M, N. Says nectar, nest. Look, all these pages here have something about nests in. But let's turn to page 32 and let's have a look there. And the heading is nest, nests. All these two pages are about nests. What's a nest? Let's find out. Where is the best place to make a nest? Wherever it is safe and warm. For some birds, that can be in a tree or the ground, or in a cave. Now this bird is called a sow cleaver. Birds use all sorts of materials to build nests, from sticks and grass to mud and fur. Can you tell your grown-up what birds use to make nests? Let's check. I'm going to read it again. Birds use all sorts of materials to build nests, from sticks and grass to mud and fur. So they use lots of different things, including sticks and grass and mud and fur. The Asian tailor bird makes a pocket for its nest by sewing 2 leaves together using spider's webs for thread. Oh, I see, this bird isn't called a so clever, it's a Asian tailor bird. Now this heading is shady lair. This is a cave. A cave swiftlet makes its nest out of spit and sticks it to cave roofs. People collect the swiftlet's nests to make bird's nest soup. They eat the bird's nest in soup. Maybe it's quite nice. Did you know, it's asking you a question, do you know something? Let's find out. A cuckoo lays its eggs in other birds' nests. When the egg hatches, the baby cuckoo is raised by its foster parents. So it's not raised by the mummy cuckoo, it's raised by whichever bird was looking after the nest at the time. This says mud hut, mud hut. It says a hornero bird makes a hollow ball of mud. That's a ball of mud with a hole in it. That means hollow. The size of a football, about that big, and lays its eggs inside. The mud nest looks like a tiny pizza oven. So we've been finding out about nests. Now let's find out about one more thing. Now, give garden birds a home, page 56. Let's find page 56. Because I'm at my mum's house at the moment, I'm looking after my mum and I want to show you something. Here's the heading, give garden birds a home. How can you give a bird a home in your garden? Any ideas? Let's look at the pictures. What can you see here? Looks like there's some nuts or something in there. And what can you see here? And here? Let's find out. Let's look at the subheadings. How can you give a bird a home in your garden? Birds always need safe places to live and feed. And if you have a garden or a balcony, you can help. So if you live in a flat or a house which has an upstairs where you open a door and you can see outside, that's called a balcony. Okay. Winter warmers. Make or buy a bird feeder. That's a bird feeder there. And fill it with nuts and seeds and some fat balls. Balls made out of fat. To keep your feathered friends, that's birds I think, fed in the chilly winter months. Make sure the feeders are out of the reach of sneaky squirrels. I'm going to show you something in a few minutes. So that's a bird feeder, and can you remember what they put in the bird feeders? It says you fill it with nuts and seeds and some fat balls. Spring delights. It's spring now. In spring and summer, garden birds love to eat insects and worms from the lawn. So can you tell your grown-ups, what do birds love to eat in the spring and summer? Let's read it again and find out. In spring and summer, garden birds love to eat insects and worms from the lawn. The lawn's the grass. Don't put out big nuts like peanuts in the spring because little chicks can choke on them. Now, what do you think these are? It says bird box. Hang a bird box on your balcony or from a tree. Blue tits and coal tits like to nest in boxes. Robins, wrens and wagtails prefer boxes with a hole in the front so they can see out. Bird bath. Bird bath. And this is a bird bath here. Bird baths are great for birds who want to drink but also want to splash about to keep their feathers spick and span. That means nice and clean. Water is especially useful in the hot, dry summer and in winter when their other water sources might be frozen. So if it's really cold, water turns into ice. Bird-friendly plants. Grow some bird-friendly plants like sunflowers. Mrs. Sears doing that, and we're going to plant some in school as well. A sunflower seed is a tasty snack for a hungry bird. My mum lives in a flat, and outside the flat are these bird feeders. And birds come to them to get food. There's some nuts in there. Now they are going to put them away quite soon because when you get the baby birds, they might choke on the nuts. And their mummies and daddies will feed them instead. But in the morning I see some birds flying around and landing here and eating. Now that thing which looks like half a football is something to stop squirrels climbing up and eating the nuts. It doesn't do a really good job. What I'll do, if I can, I'll bring another camera with me next week when I come to stay with my mum, and I will try and get some video of the squirrels and maybe some birds. Now this is a bird bath. Can you see the water at the top? So the birds, if they need a drink, they use that, and also they jump in it and clean their feathers.